what's up, my cootie crew, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're talking about my brand new piercing, which is my navel piercing. I got my navel pierced a little under 3 weeks ago now, and in this video, I'm just going to go over what the process of getting it pierced was like, along with the first 2 weeks of the healing period. I wanted to get this pierced for a couple years, and I've had it on my mind, and then I always chicken out. And then something happened a couple weeks ago where I just woke up and I said, today we're doing this, and I made the appointment to get it pierced before I changed my mind again, and now I have it, and I'm really happy with it so far. Let's begin with the piercing process. First things first, I made an appointment to go get it pierced at a piercing shop, showed up for my appointment, and then had a consultation with one of the piercers. And he took a look at my anatomy and just kind of let me know concerns and things like that. And really the main point was that I have this fold line in my stomach just above my belly button. So this is where it folds when I bend over. This is also where my weight folds over. So he was just making me very aware of where that line was and that we had to pierce underneath that line, which I was totally fine with. And then on top of that, he advised me to pick a certain type of jewelry that didn't have any edges that would get caught when I am bending over this new piercing. So far, I haven't had any issues with my skin catching on the jewelry or anything like that. It's more so animals jumping on or around me that have actually snagged it a couple of times. Another thing to note about my anatomy is just that my belly button is very small and very deep. The reason I bring that up is because of that, the barbell portion tends to come out the top portion of my belly button piercing, not the bottom portion, like into my belly button. It's more out the top. And it also meant I had to clean up my belly button a little bit better during this healing process because there are so many crevices and stuff in my belly button. Hopefully that's not TMI. If you're watching this video, you're curious about it, and I'm just letting you know. And keep that in mind, the fold and the depth of my belly button, when I'm showing you these shots of the healing period, because it was way more difficult than I thought to get a good shot of the piercing. I tried my best. I really did. I chose titanium jewelry for this piercing, which is the same as what I did for my sternum piercing, just because I didn't want my body to reject it, and titanium is one of the safest options for that, so I went with titanium. Actual piercing did hurt quite a bit. It's not like I saw stars, and keep in mind I've been pierced like a ton of times, so I kind of am used to the pain of getting a piercing, but it was pretty painful. And also similar to when I got my sternum pierced, it was mostly just uncomfortable because of how long it was painful for. So when it's your ear, it's like pretty quick to just like pierce it, pull the jewelry through, done. Same with your nose. And for the navel piercing, the first sting I felt, I was like, oh, that's really not so bad. Barely anything, we're good to go. But then there was the second, like 1, 2, which I'm guessing is when the jewelry was pulled through, and that hurt like a multiple seconds in a row of just like pain, like a couple different times is really what hurt. But the beauty of piercings is that they're all over really quick, so even though it hurts, it only hurts like that for a really short amount of time. And the rest of that day that I got it pierced in the evening, so there really wasn't too much longer left in the day, but it hurt pretty bad. And I wanted to like itch around there because it just felt so uncomfortable and like swollen, which obviously I couldn't do because I have a brand new piercing down there. But yeah, riding in the car, sitting again because my weight folds like right over the spot where it was pierced, it was very uncomfortable. I do sleep on my back most of the night. I rarely ever sleep on my stomach, so I didn't really run into any trouble with sleeping on it being an issue because I sleep on my back and sometimes my side, and neither of those really seemed to irritate it. And I tried to keep a good vlog of the healing over the first week, especially each day, just so you can see what it actually looked like. The next day, it was pretty swollen and still pretty uncomfortable. Like, it was very sensitive and sore, which is to be expected. My belly button also had a lot of leftovers from the actual piercing process the day before, so it was kind of gross looking. When I was bending over, lifting things, holding things, I could feel it there. I could feel what's going on. Basically, any sort of bending over, I tried to do without bending my actual back over. And then after I showered on that first day, it got all of that sort of zombie looking grossness out of the way, and I felt a lot better just because it didn't look so nasty. And then over the course of the next 2 and 3 days, it got a little bit less sensitive and swollen each day. And then on day 4, it was not really swollen anymore at that point, but it had a scab around the piercing points, and it started to get itchy. And day 4 is actually when all my tattoos and my sternum piercing get itchy. And I think I just need to start expecting that day 4 is just going to be itchy whenever my body is healing something. And then at this point, because the swelling had gone down while I was taking my shower, you know, clean hands, clean body, all of the clean things, I was able to move the jewelry up and down very easily, which was nice for just being able to like clean around it and stuff. Then by day 6 and day 7, it was pretty much not sensitive at all, I would say. Like I could move normally, bend normally, do everything in my everyday life normally without really noticing that I had a fresh navel piercing. I could, you know, like lay on my stomach and stuff and not really be concerned with if it was going to hurt or anything like that, which is still how it is right now. Another thing to note is around the end of the first week is when I got a little bit of discharge when I was cleaning it. And it was a really minimal amount. It wasn't like oozing, like when my sternum piercing went through its phase. It wasn't like that. It was just a tiny little bit was coming out after my shower. The scabs kind of went away, but it still has that red ring around the piercing point. Now, during this whole time, I'm doing sterile saline sprays on my piercing twice a day. So once first thing in the morning when I get up, and then again right before I go to bed, and then after I shower. And I do it after I shower just because you're supposed to do that to rinse the area out in case there's any like soap or things built up from the shower, and just rinse out whatever came out from the shower. And as I already mentioned, my small deep belly button got really upset with me being as moist as it was for that many days in a row, because all of that moisture was getting trapped in like the folds of my belly button, and I got like a skin rash inside my belly button, and it started to like smell weird. And then what I started doing after that was using a Q-tip. So I would spray it with the sterile saline spray and then use a Q-tip to get all of the excess spray out of the inside of my belly button. And then with a few days, it was all cleared up and it's fine now. But honestly, that was the grossest part of the healing period so far, was just what was going on with my skin. And I did start up doing some of my core exercises, yoga, things like that, in the last week. So I guess it had healed over a week at that point and didn't really have any issues doing that. While this isn't really an aftercare video, I do want to say sterile saline spray or sea salt soaks are the only way really that you should be cleaning out fresh piercings like this. Don't use, you know, regular soap or hand soap or anything like that to clean around the area, because that's just going to irritate it, dry out your skin, and overall it's really not good. And then generally just keeping it clean, so I'm being really good about making sure I shower every single day. And the healing period for these is pretty long, like up to a year. I know this. I'm not expected to be going on any sort of beach vacations in the next many months, just with the state of everything right now. So I figured now is as good a time as any to go for it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sitting through all of that awkward filming of my belly button. As always, the comment section is open for you guys to share your own experiences, feedback, tips, anything like that. I know there's a lot of people out there who have their navel pierced, so if you want to share your own experience with that and the healing period and anything like that, go ahead, let us know down below. If this video was useful, please give it a thumbs up. You can check out all the other videos on my channel and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for future videos. And with that, Cootie Crew, I'm signing off and I will see you next time.